Hey, it is Ryan Seacrest. There's something so thrilling about playing Chumba Casino. Maybe it's the simple reminder that with a little luck, anything is possible. ChumbaCasino.com has hundreds of social casino-style games to choose from with new game releases each week. Play for free anytime, anywhere for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. Join me in the fun. Sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to True Crime Time for Tuesday, November the
12th.
November the 12th. And I'm Woody Overton.
I'm Cyndi Overton.
And we're back in the saddle again on Taco Tuesday.
Yes, right? And oh my goodness, my husband loves some tacos. I don't believe
anybody in the world eats more tacos than me.
No.
Well, maybe in the Southern Hemisphere. in this area of the state of Louisiana, eats more tacos than me. I love me a taco.
You would want me to make tacos every single night. And when I make a meat, I often think, could he turn this into a taco if there's leftovers?
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure I can.
You're pretty sure you do.
Taco Tuesday.
Well, surprise, we're probably having tacos for dinner tonight.
Well, hey, nothing wrong with a taco. But we love and appreciate each and every one of y'all. Thank you for liking and listening and sharing and all that good podcaster shit. And let's get down to
True Crime Time for
Tuesday. Ladies first.
All right. So this story hit me because when I was getting my teacher certification, I graduated college in 1993. Mm-hmm. And with a double major in psych and English. Mm-hmm. And then fast forward to 2018?
I think it was before then. You went back and got your certification.
I decided to either become an attorney or become a teacher when my dad was diagnosed with brain cancer. Right. And I had to take all the praxis tests. And I'm not ashamed to say there was a couple tests that I had to redo. I didn't pass them. And it was stressful. And I was, my daddy was in Texas and I was, hadn't been in school for so many years. And it was math that I was having a problem with. But what never occurred to me was to have someone else take the test for me to pass it.
Yeah. That like people cheat on their SATs or whatever it is.
Right. So there's a coach in Houston, Houston Independent School District has been identified as the kingpin in a teacher certification cheating scheme that allowed at least 200 unqualified teachers to work in local school districts. Uh-oh. Well, according to my calculations, based off of the money that he made, it's been more like 436 people. Wow. So, Vincent Grayson.
You can't do anything with 436 people and think you're not going to get busted.
Right?
Right. Loose lips sink ships.
So, Vincent Grayson, 57, heads boys basketball at Booker T. Washington High School in Houston ISD. And he has for nearly 20 years. And he was charged as the organizer of the teaching scheme. Mike Levine, a felony chief in the DA's office, Public Corruption Division, estimated that the ring's kingpin had grossed more than $1 million from the scheme.
That is paid.
So Grayson actually says he made $1,090,000. Wow.
Tax free.
Yeah. Earlier this year, Grayson was nominated for High School Coach of the Year at the Houston Sports Awards.
Then sugar turned to shit.
That's right. He was described to have had an impact on the basketball court at Booker T. Washington High School, and he led the team for their first ever UIL state tournament. And so UIL, I heard all the time in Texas, and it's essentially the same as what we have here, the Louisiana High School Athletic Association. Right. And so he led them to their first state tournament and made a significant milestone for the school. Levine said candidates would pay Grayson usually $2,500 and making $1,090,000. That divides into 436, which is more than the 200, more than double what they're estimating, right? He then would forward roughly 20% of that money to Guilford Mason for her willingness to allow the cheating to occur.
Okay. So he had a partner in crime.
He had a couple. The candidate would then reportedly be instructed by Grayson where and when exactly to test. They would come, show ID, sign in, and leave, Levine stated. A few minutes later, Nicholas Newton, the proxy tester, would reportedly sit in their seat and take and pass the test they felt that they could not.
That dude took a lot of fucking tests.
And obviously knew exactly what answer. Right, I mean, he was probably like A, B, C. He probably knew that test, took him whatever. So there are a few suspects charged in the scheme, and that is Vincent Grayson, Tywana Guilford Mason, Nicholas Newton, which is an assistant principal at Booker T. Washington School.
All getting paid.
And Darian Nicole Wilhit, whatever, he is another proctor, and LaShonda Roberts, which is another assistant principal of a high school in Houston.
And they were all getting paid until their sugar turned to shit. Fuck them. Can you imagine so your kids are going, you send them in good faith to Booker T. Washington or wherever, and thinking that they're going to get a good education. Yeah. And they get in a local crackhead off the street. Anybody has $2,500 can become a teacher.
Yeah.
Like, fuck college, fuck everything. Give me $2,500 and you can teach our kids. Yeah. You pieces of shit. Yeah. So their sugar turned to shit for real, right? Yep. Man. All kinds to make the world go round. And speaking of world going round, let's do a worldwide crime. Y'all, this is crazy. This is crazy. And then, so, in a case that has deeply shocked Rwanda, Dennis Kazunga, a 34-year-old man, has pled guilty to a series of gruesome crimes, including the murder of 12 women and 2 men. Oh. Right? Okay. His horrific actions were discovered after police found multiple bodies. Where do you think they found them? You'd never get this.
In a swimming pool.
Nope. They were buried in the kitchen of his rented home. What? In Kiciro, which is a suburb of Kigali, right? So, anyway, Kazunga's crimes came to light when he was evicted, right? So, you got all these bodies buried, you can get yourself fucking evicted. Anyway, he was evicted from his home for defaulting on rent payments. And his landlord report, basically, he was like, holy fuck, it's called the police visits. And during which Kazunga's excessive crime and apologies raised suspicions. Now, at the police station, he confessed to the murders, which led to an investigation by the Rwanda Investigation Bureau. Now, Kazunga, who had previously worked as a teacher, lured his victims, mostly sex workers, to his home. Then he robbed, strangled, and buried them in a hole he dug in his kitchen. What the fuck? He's got dirt floors? Yeah. They say, I don't know. But 2 of the victims' remains were dissolved and have not been found. Oh, yeah. So, in court, Kazunga, who was representing himself, figure that out, remained calm as he pled guilty. He tried to justify his actions by saying his victims had infected him with AIDS.
Oh, okay.
But he didn't provide any evidence of that. And despite his request for closed proceedings, the court said, fuck that, we're going to do it in the public, right? And a woman in the courtroom cried out for her child, who she said was one of the victims. Now, Kazunga faced multiple charges, including murder, rape, forgery, and desecration of human corpses. And he pled guilty to all charges and was sentenced to life in prison, right? And they sentenced him, but he wasn't present for the sentencing. So, yeah, there's a whole lot more to the story, but that dude is really fucked.
How did every single one of them infect him with AIDS? It takes one person.
I mean, dude's got to say something, right? But then burying the bodies and put them in a hole in the kitchen, not what our friends at Louisiana Funeral Services would do. Roy and Kristen, and y'all, they have Louisiana Funeral Services, and it's also the only place in the state of Louisiana you can get an independent autopsy done. But I've been there. They have a beautiful chapel. They're best people. All the people that work there were just great. It's a big facility. They also have Louisiana Pet Crematory, and I know a lot of you lifers have used them for that. And they're just such good, caring people. And you can go check them out at lapetcrematory.com or lafuneralservices.com underneath that giant American flag in Broussard, Louisiana. And you know what their tagline is, Cyndi?
Rest easy.
We love y'all, Roy and Kristen. So there you go. That was definitely a worldwide crime.
Yes.
All right, Sin.
And they have more respect for afterlife than most people have respect for life, right?
Absolutely. They're so good with the families and everything else. We love them.
All right. So I always don't like these stories at all. It's just, it's an epidemic.
You can quit anytime you want.
No, because it needs to be, the stories need to be told. It's true crime time, right?
Yeah.
Like we need to tell these stories to hopefully.
I'm pretty sure there's, other than some serial killers and really bad people out there, evil people, most people don't like the content of the stories, but we true crime fans like to hear about it, but they don't like what happened.
Right. Well, I just hope that people get help, right? So, Tesha Florence.
Then you'd be out of a job. If there was no crime, we wouldn't be behind the microphone.
No, like mothers killing their kids.
I know, baby, I'm joking.
No, I understand what you're saying. I was going to say, keep robbing, I don't want to be out of a job. I'm just saying, we don't have to kill our kids. That's the hard part.
You don't have to kill anybody.
Well, you don't have to kill anybody, but my goodness. Tesha Florence, who's 46, called 911 Wednesday morning, October 9th, to report that she shot her son.
Oh, fuck. Relevant.
And police reported to the scene and found 16-year-old Robert Florence with a single gunshot wound. And Robert was rushed to the hospital in extremely critical condition, and he succumbed to his injuries on Friday the 11th. On the day of the shooting, his mother was booked in jail at 4:34 p.m. and charged with 2 counts of aggravated assault and 1 count of aggravated battery with $1 million professional surety bond set on the battery charged. I've never heard that terminology.
You get out, and if you violate the conditions of your bond, then like these insurance companies, like a bail bondsman, if you run like a little bitch and you don't show up for court, they have to pay the money for the bond. So the surety bond is just saying that somebody's got to pay if you fuck it up.
Okay. She was also charged with 2nd-degree murder. So this is a tragic accident that has forever changed a family. Gun violence affects our entire community and cannot be tolerated, Chief Joe Sullivan said. Robert's older brother, Curtis, who is 20, said Robert was just someone you could trust. He kept it genuine at all times. He was always able to point you to the truth, and people lie a lot of times, but he could see through all of that. And Curtis added that his brother was a force within his community and a very loving and caring young man. So Curtis also goes on to explain that his family had struggled financially for years and they had one car. And his mom, who previously worked as a certified nursing assistant and raised her 4 sons, was a single mom. And she struggled financially for the last few years and eventually took an overnight factory job paying $10 an hour.
Wow. You got to make ends meet.
That's right. So with just one car for the family, the 20-year-old said that he regularly drove his girlfriend to work, then took his brothers to school before dropping his mother off at the factory and going to his own job. Often with long, expensive commutes to school, Robert arrived late to school often, and his grades were slipping and his attendance was slipping, and which made him not be able to play like varsity basketball and right. And this was his junior year and he was good at it and he was upset. But on the morning of the shooting, Curtis says that Robert had opted to stay home from school because he didn't have clean clothes to wear.
Oh.
So after dropping off the other brothers at school, Curtis returned home to hear the sound of sirens at his apartment. And he says, my mom wasn't the type to go off the rail, noting that his mother called 911 following the shooting. He says, I'm convinced that it was an accident and that it wasn't intentional. While investigating the East Harry Street apartment shooting, police say detectives learned that Robert's mother had allegedly threatened her ex-husband and current girlfriend with a gun earlier in the year.
Son didn't know about the girlfriend.
Right. And Curtis says he didn't know anything about that.
Right.
So Tesha made her first appearance in court on October 15th at 2:30. But now Curtis says that since the shooting, he was kicked out of his apartment and is living in a hotel, and he grieves the loss of his brother while trying to keep his family together.
Wow.
He said his mom raised smart, strong Black men. She let us know who we are. I've always tried to be strong for my mom, and I am standing by her. He is trying to work to get her an attorney instead of having to have a public defender.
Yeah, he's probably messing up on that because a lot of times public defenders are actually better than cheap attorneys.
Mm-hmm. And he's set up a GoFundMe page to help his father, and to raise his brothers.
But I mean, the cops believe she did it because of the girlfriend.
They don't know what to. I mean, that hasn't. Yeah,
that's
right.
What you said.
Yeah, she had threatened them. Yeah, with the gun earlier, but in March. I mean, it wasn't that.
She's not sitting in jail for no reason.
No,
I hate that. Prayers for that young man, keep his family together, living in a hotel and all that. It's just bad, and people do stupid shit all the time. Yeah, and I mean, I guess it'll come out in court what happened or what didn't happen. Yeah. So I don't know.
Spark something uncommon this holiday with just the right gift from Uncommon Goods. The busy holiday season is here, and Uncommon Goods makes it less stressful with incredible hand-picked gifts for everyone on your list, all in one spot. Gifts to spark joy, wonder, delight, and that's exactly what I wanted feeling. Hey, y'all, I ordered a super cool piece. It's a candle with a sculpture of an LSU's Tiger Stadium on top of it. And each officially licensed laser-cut wooden replica features up to 4 layers of detail, creating a bird's eye view of a specific football field, seating section, and more. And every label includes your stadium's name, the team's logo, and school location. And it has a coconut, soy, vegan wax infused with sandalwood smell that creates tailgates and touchdown scent profile, reminiscent of game day. It's invigorating like fresh cut grass and nostalgic like smoke from a pre-game grill, and calming like the crisp autumn air of a new semester on campus. Y'all, I love it. I have it at the base of my TV, and I'm ready to watch the Tigers play on Saturday night, right? Uncommon Goods. Look, when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. And many of their handcrafted products are made in small batches. So shop now before they sell out this holiday season. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the U.S. They have the most meaningful, out of the ordinary gifts anywhere. They even have gifts you can personalize. From holiday hosts and hostess gift to the coolest finds for kids, to hits for everyone from the book lovers to diehard sports fans. Uncommon Goods has something for everyone, not the same old selections you can just find anywhere. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3 million to date. So to get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/RLRC. That's uncommongoods.com/RLRC for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary. Hey ladies, are you feeling overwhelmed by hormonal changes? Well, you're definitely not alone. There are more than 1,000 hormone disruptors living in our environment right now. It's in your food, your water, the air you breathe, the clothes you wear, your skincare products. They all mess with your hormones. Then there's the natural hormone changes your body goes through, premenopause, menopause. And while it's a natural process, it doesn't mean you have to suffer through it. The good news is you don't have to suffer through it anymore, because now you have Hormone Harmony, a formula made only with herbal ingredients that are shown to reduce hormonal symptoms in women of all ages. Hormone Harmony is not just a hormone support and supplement. It's become a phenomenon. Women can't stop talking about it on social media. A bottle of Hormone Harmony is sold every 24 seconds. And the biggest benefit? Well, my wife says it makes her feel like her own self again. And that's what women mention over and over in the reviews. And there are over 30,000 reviews for Hormone Harmony. And for a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use code RLRC at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC for 15% off today. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC.
I don't know. You remember Gabby Petito?
I do.
You remember when it first happened, it came on. I don't even watch the news anymore. But I remember we were watching it somewhere, and I said, I said, oh, she's dead.
Mm-hmm.
I said, she'd be dead.
Immediately.
She'd be dead. And,
yes.
And of course it came out that later on that she was dead and all that shit that happened and the manhunt and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me tell you about another winter chicken dinner. There was this lady, Madeline Kingsbury. She's 26. She was found dead in a heavily wooded area in June of 2023. A little over a month after her disappearance. And she was a mother of 2.
Goodness.
Right? Now, her ex-boyfriend, who said the Minnesota mother of 2 would end up like Gabby Petito.
Oh.
Prior to her being found dead in 2023, he's been convicted of murdering her, y'all. So, Adam Fravel, 30, was found guilty of 2 counts of first-degree murder and 2 counts of second-degree murder on Thursday, November the 7th, in connection with the death of the 26-year-old victim, right?
Right.
And the verdict came 10 hours after the jury began deliberations following a month-long trial. That's according to the Star Tribune. In Of course, he faces life in prison, and now he's going to be sentenced on December 17th. But let me tell you what happened. All right. So Kingsbury, the victim, went missing under suspicious circumstances on the morning of March the 31st of 2023 after dropping the couple's 2 children off at daycare. Mm-hmm. At the time, Fravel denied any involvement in her disappearance. And in a statement to ABC News, he said, "I want the mother of my 5-year-old and 2-year-old to be found and brought home safely. I want that more than anything." Mm-hmm. My motherfucker. Mm-hmm. So Kingsbury's remains were later found on June the 7th in that heavily wooded area off of Highway 43 near Mayville, Minnesota, which is in Fillmore County. Now, Fravel was arrested the same day on a probable cause and charged 2 days later. Mm-hmm. Right? So according to the criminal complaint, Kingsbury was found near a rural property owned by Fravel's parents. Her body was wrapped in a gray fitted bed sheet that came from their home. Mm. The medical examiner testified during the trial that Kingsbury likely died of asphyxia, strangulation, y'all, referenced a towel that was wrapped around her neck and covered half of her face. And the criminal complaint said that Fravel told police he and Kingsbury were newly separated and in the process of moving out of their home that they shared with their children after 7 years of an off and on relationship. And in interviews with the police, Fravel referenced another prominent case of a missing woman, Gabby Petito. Fravel admitted to being infatuated with the Gabby Petito case. He also admitted that he made a statement to Madeline about her ending up like Gabby Petito. And the complaint is referencing the 22-year-old Petito who was strangled to death by her fiance, Brian Laundrie, in August of 2021. And Fravel later on says, I was just only making a joke about it, mm-hmm. right? But friends and family who testified in court told about an instance of domestic abuse in September 2021 when Fravel put his hand around Kingsbury's neck and pushed her. The defense argued there was no history of abuse and no indications of a struggle at the crime scene. But Fravel's attorney, Zachary Bauer, said he was disappointed at the outcome, referring to the guilty verdict.
Yeah.
I bet you were, motherfucker.
Yeah.
So, but I worked with a lot of defense attorneys over the years, and I do what I do on the consulting side, and I'm like, you better plead this motherfucker out because they're guilty as fuck.
Yeah.
And the defense attorneys they're gonna fight to the last breath when it comes down. A lot of my friends, the defense attorneys, are like, that motherfucker is guilty as fuck.
I just don't understand how they defend when they know they're guilty. But why would you choose to be that?
Everybody has a right to defense, but they don't tell them. They don't ask them, "Are you guilty?" Or they do if they want to take a plea bargain.
Yeah.
But that's why Woody Overton comes in. I look at the case. I'm like, this motherfucker guilty as fuck. You better tell him to plea out because he's going to get life, right?
I guess what I'm saying is once they know that they're guilty, like once Woody Overton goes in there or once they know, I would be like, I can't work your case anymore.
Well, sometimes that does happen. But it's just defense attorneys are there for a reason, okay? In good, bad, or indifferent. But so back to the story, Kingsbury's loved one spoke out in court with her dad saying after the verdict, it's a pirate victory and we're not going to get Madeline back. Fravel can't be punished enough. And the victim's brother, Stephen, said, at the end of the day, you have to trust the process. The truth kind of rises to the top, and the evidence, it always comes out. Right? Yeah. Y'all, look, if you're with somebody and they've choked you once or punched you in the face once or whatever, they're going to fucking do it again. You're a victim of domestic violence, and then they're going to make it up to you. I always call it the circle. They're going to make it gets to that point where they beat on you or do whatever they do, and then days later they come back and I'm so sorry, I'll be better and all that and everything. You have the honeymoon period until it gets back better again, and then it happens. The sugar turns to shit and it happens again. So if you are experiencing domestic violence, call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233. All calls are toll free and confidential, and the hotline is available 24/7 in more than 170 languages.
Yeah.
Y'all call them before a detective like me has to come work your murder.
And you've had so many cases that you've gone.
I used to tell them, hey, one day, because a lot of times before they changed the law, they would always arrest motherfucker, take him to jail, and then they end up bonding him out or dropping charges, not showing up for court. But then the state of Louisiana, I think it was like 2003 or 4, changed that.
Yeah.
The DAs are tired of it. And they got the law changed like, fuck you. He went to jail and we have the proof, we have the evidence. We don't need you. We'll press the charges.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's still, people get murdered every day by their significant others. And this motherfucker is exactly where he needs to be.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's it for him. Fuck him.
Yeah. F him.
All right. Let's do a segment of Worldwide Crime.
All right. This is exciting.
All right. Tell us about it, son. The Worldwide Crime.
We're going to Wiltshire, England.
Wiltshire, England. Across the pond.
Yes. So in April of 2015, Victoria Cilliers was believed to have been dead after a 4,000-foot jump at a skydiving center known as the Army Parachute Association in Wiltshire, England.
Okay.
So first responders and a body bag were waiting for her on the ground at Netheravon Airfield.
Wait a minute. How did they get there before she got dead?
After her parachute and reserve failed, citing authorities. So she jumps out of the airplane.
I totally get it. She's obviously up in an airplane, but you fall at I think it's 125 miles an hour. That's the fastest you fall, whatever that speed is. You can't drop anything. It all falls at the same rate. If I drop my phone and a penny, they're going to hit the ground at the same time.
Yes.
That always tripped me out.
Yes.
So what I'm saying is this lady is up. She jumps, and then obviously they see her shoot and stuff doesn't open, but you're telling me the cops and paramedics got there before she hit the fucking ground?
Uh-huh.
Then she must have jumped on top of a paramedic house.
Thank you, Miss Becky Record, for teaching Woody that.
Yes, Miss Becky. My favorite teacher.
I'm just telling you what I read. Okay. I'm telling you a story, and this is based off of the information
I just don't know how they got that. That's the fastest response. England must have some fast ass.
Well, they're at the
response.
Army parachute place. So maybe the armies have first responders.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got to be some kind of logic to it.
So an experienced skydiver instructor, Victoria, miraculously survived. Authorities believe it was due to her small frame, but was left with serious...
She lived?
She lived.
4,000? I don't think you jump 4,000 feet. I think you freeze to death.
Well,
Anyway, go ahead.
She was left with serious injuries when she landed. And it was a recently plowed field.
Wow.
So,
well, the soft dirt might have helped her a little bit.
So
you're falling 100 and some miles an hour.
Oh, I wasn't thinking plowed. I was just thinking cut. Yeah. I was thinking if she landed on some grass, maybe that might help her. But
Brushly tilled means there's no grass.
Plowed. Yes.
Yeah. Plowed means
all right.
Till and plow.
So the 41-year-old suffered a broken spine, fractured ribs, and pelvis.
Jeez.
Years later, Victoria spoke of her survival in a documentary. I think it was a mix of things, Victoria said, according to an October 24 story published in The Independent. It was a combination of luck and trying to slow it down as much as I could. I guess because she was an instructor. Yeah. So, but
there's only so much you can do.
Exactly. So was it actually an accident? The chute and the reserve not opening?
I know, but you know what? In the U.S. Army, when you're airborne, you got to go through school. It's long, like a week long. It's pretty rigorous, all the run and whatever. And they teach you jumping and how to pack chutes and all that. Well, here's the deal. You know how they stop that shit? You packing chutes, right? Mm-hmm. And everybody's packing chutes, and they mix them all the fuck up. And that's the truth.
Smart. That's smart.
Like,
yeah.
If you don't take that shit serious,
then
you might be the one. You go ahead and want to play a fucking joke.
Yeah.
You might be the one that gets that.
That's
right?
a very, So, following Victoria's near fatal fall, the Army Parachute Association quickly suspected that there was foul play and contacted police. Mm-hmm. An investigation led police to zero in on Victoria's Army Sergeant husband,
this is military,
Emile Cilliers. The two, who both served in the British Army, met in 2010 and married the next year. Then went on to have 2 children together. But as time went on, Emile's dark side was revealed. So authorities say Emile twice attempted to kill his wife less than a week before the skydiving situation.
Is she still in skydiving with him?
I know.
Right.
I don't think she thought that he was trying.
Well, maybe she didn't know about the attempt to kill us. Maybe he was trying to hire somebody or something.
Well, the first one.
I'm pretty sure if you try to kill me 2 times in 1 week, I ain't getting in a fucking airplane with you.
Right? So he started with orchestrating a gas leak in the couple's home. So I guess that was kind of elusive, and she couldn't prove. Well, I don't know. She might not have thought. So the judge is like, well, why would he try to kill his wife? Does he want money? Is there another woman? Is it ego because his wife ranked higher than him? And so, or was it a combination of all 3 things? Yeah. So the court judge presiding over Emile's trial said his motive was the insurance policy that he would receive upon his wife's death, making way for him to pursue a relationship with another woman.
Combination.
The judge also said Emile believed that his wife's status was as a higher ranking officer would threaten his own Army career.
Hat trick.
And he said that the policy totaled $155,000 which is 120,000 whatever euros. I'm sorry. That's not enough for me to kill any. $155,000?
No.
No. So Emile was.
How much would it take?
My life. I would probably kill myself before I killed somebody else.
Okay, I was specifically talking about me.
I would never kill you. Right. If I haven't yet, it's never going to happen.
I know you want to.
How much would it take you to kill me?
There's not a monetary amount. I just kill you.
Buddy, that's the wrong answer. The next thing you're going to say is you're going to be the next Gabby Petito.
Yeah, I could tell you if I was going to do it, you'd never know about it. But I wouldn't do it. Or you don't.
Okay, but it's on air.
I'm
not editing.
That's plausible deniability. How stupid would I have to be to go on air and say, hey, you know what? For real, I'm just fucking around because if something happens to you, I don't want. They're going to look at me first, but I'm going to be very distraught if something happens to you.
You're very distraught.
Yes, like ruined.
Distraught.
Well, I mean, that's fucking. What else you want me to say? Sad, distraught, ruined. That's all the same thing. All right, go back to the story.
Hey, y'all. Changing my wardrobe from summer to fall, it's never easy. Luckily, Quince offers timeless and high-quality items I adore, ensuring my wardrobe stays fresh and I don't blow my budget. And there's nothing easier than going to Quince and choosing these high-quality items, like cashmere sweaters from $50, pants for every occasion, washable silk tops, and so much more. The best part? All Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. By partnering directly with top factories, Quince cuts out the cost of the middleman and passes the savings on to us. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. And I love that. I got the stainless steel Link Apple Watch band for $59.90. It's heavy duty. It's awesome. And it's like $100 less than I could find anywhere else. And I also got a 100% organic cotton fisherman quarter zip up sweater. The color is alabaster. Man, I can't wait to wear that this fall. And Cyndi got the Mongolian cashmere boat neck sweater in heather gray. And I'm telling you, these are classic pieces at a fraction of the price. Make switching seasons a breeze with Quince's high-quality closet essentials. Go to quince.com/RLRC for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/RLRC to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/RLRC. You'll thank me later.
Hey guys, it is Ryan. I'm not sure if you know this about me, but I'm a bit of a fun fanatic when I can. I like to work, but I like fun too. And now I can tell you about my favorite place to have fun. Chumba Casino. They have hundreds of social casino style games to choose from with new games released each week. You can play for free and each day brings a new chance to collect daily bonuses. So join me in the fun. Sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Emil was ultimately found guilty on 2 counts of attempted murder in May 2018 and later sentenced to life in prison with a minimum of 18 years to be served. Because she didn't die. He only gets 18 years.
She got all fucked up.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, So at his sentencing hearing, he was described by the judge as someone who was of quite exceptional callousness and a person who would stop at nothing to gratify his own desires.
Never anything then. Wow, that's a fucking really, really good worldwide crime. Really, I mean that was an interesting story.
Yeah,
right?
very interesting story.
Note to self: don't go skydiving with Cyndi.
But, we wanted to do that last year for Christmas, like as a family thing.
Fuck that. Not doing it. So there'll never be any excuse. Like if I end up, I don't know how, it's a miracle that woman lived, bro.
I know. But to all of our listeners, there's no more love between a husband and a wife than the love sitting in this room. So I do not.
I don't say how much shit like that. But,
could you just say ditto?
Yeah, ditto.
Okay.
All right. So, I think, was it yesterday's story you did about Tito's Pizza or whatever the fuck?
Yes, it was yesterday.
In Wisconsin where they got high and shit?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's go back to Wisconsin. In another place that I have actually seen the signs for, the Kenosha Police Department said a 13-year-old who made searches related, this is a good story, y'all, related to school shootings was captured on video with a rifle, right? And staff at a Wisconsin elementary school are being praised for their efforts to protect students after they prevented the suspicious teenager from entering the elementary school.
Wow.
With a rifle.
Yeah.
Right? So the Kenosha Police Department Chief Patrick Patton shared during a press conference that the 13-year-old suspect was intercepted by school staff members when he tried to enter the Roosevelt Elementary School on the morning of Thursday, November the 7th, before he ran like a little bitch. So a photo of the teenage suspect shared by police showed the boy dressed in a black hoodie with a black hat, carrying what police said, or they described it as 2 suspicious bags, including a large backpack and what appeared to be another large duffel bag. And he's trying to get into school, y'all, right? And they're like, fuck you, you can't come in. And then she says, we can confirm that we received at least one video depicting the suspect holding a illegal firearm. And the video shows the suspect walking with what we believe to be a rifle practicing however you say it, practicing techniques, to shoot. He also says, we also have information that the suspect performed multiple internet searches related to school shootings prior to the incident. Patton said that thanks to tips police received from the community, they were able to locate and arrest the suspect, who police said was a student with the Kenosha Unified School District system, which is a few blocks away from that elementary school. Now, police confirmed the arrest in an update on social media around 2:20 p.m. It said, we know that there were internet searches and all the red flags that we look for and expect someone to report were there. We narrowly missed a tragedy today. We're just going to re-encourage everybody we always say this, when they see something, say something. Help us have those talks with your children, Chief added. Now, the Roosevelt Elementary School and the rest of the KUSD schools were placed on lockdown while police investigated the incident, and that's according to Kenosha Police Department. So the Kenosha Superintendent Jeff Weiss told CNN and the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel that the team used one of the school's side entrances to get to a secure entryway. When the school staff approached him and questioned him, the boy then appeared to get nervous before running like a little bitch, but they said before fleeing the building into a neighborhood. They did not know in that exact moment what was happening, but their actions were heroic and prevented the unfathomable, Weiss said, calling the incident a potential school shooting. Right? And then he's freaking right. Wisconsin State Superintendent Dr. Jill Underly also shared in a statement saying she was so thankful for the school staff in Kenosha for preventing a young person with a firearm from entering the school. Their quick actions protected students, ensured nobody was hurt. The threat of violence in our schools is real, and staff must prepare every day. And under the leadership of Superintendent Weiss, staff were well trained and they saved lives today, and I am so grateful for them. That's what she said. You know what? I am so grateful for them also.
That's amazing.
That is, yeah.
Yes.
I go back to dating myself before you ever had a school shooting. Columbine. And we went on a SWAT team from responding to the scene, surrounding the location, calling in the hostage negotiators and doing all that shit. But after Columbine, we had to change the way of thinking because the world changes. And I will never forget I know I've told this before, the first training we did was on an actual school here in Livingston Parish, but the kids were out.
Yeah.
But you knew you were responding to an active shooter, right? And when you got there, so all your training, all your years before, you were supposed to get there and set up on perimeter. And not only SWAT, everybody would respond. And all the responding units would get there, do the circle, right? And then as a SWAT team, because it takes a while for you to get there, you got to get called out and get your shit on and meet and teams deploy. Right. You would relieve the uniform guys and say, you can pull back now. We'll put a sniper or whatever it may be. But it totally went against the grain of everything we had been trained. And so you get there and you get out of your vehicle, and we had simunitions, which is you using your real firearm. And they're not blanks. They shoot you and it fires at as loud as your real firearm is. And you get hit with that motherfucker, it hurts. Okay. And it leaves a paint mark. It's not paintballs. It's real round.
Right.
Fires a real weapon.
Yeah.
And so you get to this big ass school and you get dispatched 911 active school shooter at whatever elementary school. And you get there and this is a fucking massive complex. And now your training is the total reverse of everything it is run towards the sound of the shooting and eliminate the threat.
Yeah.
And you going in, you may be by yourself.
Yeah.
And you're going in and you're hearing the gunshots and you're hearing screams and you got to run in. You got to have some fucking nuts, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's what you get paid to do. You run in and you say, look, they have people, actors, people that are like teachers running across and whatever. And you got to not shoot them.
Right.
You're trying to respond to the thing. Now, at the same time, they were, and I won't tell you the things that they do. They implemented a bunch of safety things for the teachers.
I know those.
I know. We're not going to tell what they are because fuck a school shooter.
Right.
Where they would do certain things when it happened automatically, and certain things could be communicated to law enforcement outside the rooms that this room is safe or whatever.
Right.
But you ain't worried about that at that time. You going to kill this motherfucker.
Yes, you as the police officers, we as the teachers had our own things I'm not saying it. We had our own things that we did in the classroom.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
But when you go and eliminate what you think is the threat,
right,
you don't know that that's the only threat.
Right.
So then you have to go back and check every single thing. And that's where, I guess it's just a lot of shit, and they have improved upon it. But these fucking school shootings keep happening.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, Kenosha yesterday or 2 days ago, whenever it was, would have been the next one.
Right.
And thank God for the training and thank God for the, all that.
Say something.
And this dude, they hadn't said it yet, but because it's been too recent, and of course, recording this a day early, but it's going to come back. I mean, they saw him with the rifle, practicing rudimentary techniques. I mean, like he's taking corners and shit, and the internet searches, and those bags when they arrest them, they're going to find them. And I bet you there were full ammunition in the rifle. Yeah, and we could have killed
so many people. One would have been too many, but yeah.
And so there you have it. Heroes, because they turned them away. And he ran like a little bitch. That is a hero. And thank God he ran like a little bitch. That's a good run like a little bitch. Mm-hmm. So, well, that's it. We love and appreciate each and every one of y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in and liking and listening and sharing. And thank you for all the positive responses that y'all are doing on social media for True Crime Time 4. And this is Taco Tuesday, right?
Yes, it is.
And I love y'all and thank you.
Thank you.
And until next time, I'm Woody Overton.
I'm Cyndi Overton.
And we'll holler at y'all later. Peace.
It can get lonely climbing Mount McKinley, so to entertain myself, I go to ChumbaCasino.com. At Chumba Casino, I can play hundreds of online casino-style games for free, like online slots, bingo, Slingo, and more. Plus, I get a daily login bonus. It's just too bad that up here, I don't have anyone to share my excitement with. Woohoo!
Live the Chumba life. Anytime, anywhere. Play for free now at ChumbaCasino.com.
VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.